Serious lawyers, what's a case you regretted winning? As a personal injury attorney, I've seen a few clients win the blue-collar lotto, or getting more money than they reasonably know how to deal with. I do my best to educate them, but my job is to try and maximize their recovery, not teach them finance. I have definitely contributed to a few drug habits. As a personal injury attorney, do you still represent them if you think they are faking? I saw a story of a woman who won $10 million in the actual lotto here in Ontario, Canada. Within less than 10 years she was flat broke and working retail again. Did a divorce where the husband, who I was representing, wanted to trade custody of his children for a set of bedroom furniture. The bedroom furniture was not even like a family heirloom. It was furniture that you could probably get at a rooms to go or something. Ugh. Still makes me ill. That's why I got out of family law. Edit. I'd honestly like to thank all of you for your various points of view on this particular pain point in my career. For the record, yes, I did win that particular point, but it did not fill me with any joy. But those who said that it was probably for the best, perhaps you're right. Thank goodness he fought for the furniture and not the kids. If that's the kind of dad he would be, choosing objects over his children. I hope he got what he wished for. He doesn't deserve to be called a dad. I got a spoiled brat of a teenager cleared of a shoplifting charge when he absolutely had done it. His rich parents hired me to represent him. I did that to the best of my ability, and we went to trial and won. But I can't say I felt good about it. This kid needed to be taught some accountability for his actions, and his parents just wanted to buy their way out of any trouble he got into. Right now in my criminology class we're doing reports on criminals, and I chose mine on Ethan Couch. Basically his defense said that he suffered from affluenza, a non-medical term where a person was raised so rich that they don't know the difference between right and wrong. So essentially Ethan drove under the influence at 16 years old with a BAC of .24 and hit and killed 4 people. The defense said that he suffered from affluenza or whatever, and the jury was like, well, sounds good to me. I laughed when I first heard the case because I didn't think it was real. I won a summary judgment motion that my firm filed, not expecting to win. We had a decent argument, but odds were way worse than a coin flip, and judges don't like granting summary judgment because it's an extreme remedy. Client initially was thrilled. Case is over. We tried to break the news gently. Nope. 3 years later we're back in the same spot we were before we won our motion. The other side appealed it up to the state Supreme Court and won, because the Supreme Court said the trial judge should have denied our motion. So, we are back at square one. North of $100,000 in legal bills, with no resolution. Maybe it'll settle. Maybe it will go to trial. I'll find out in the next 3 to 4 months. ETA. Clarified my parenthetical. Excuse my ignorance. What's a summary judgment motion? ELI 5 terms if possible? Women wanted her daughter custody. We used the state preference about custody going to the mother. Judge bias, her improved economical situation, and some minor garbage like her grades and discipline problems at school to discredit the dadma. Even a month after we won, the mother calls and says she had a problem. Then she explains the problem was that her BF raped the girl, and after that she had the gall to ask we pick up his defense. One of the things that made me quit to gov work. That poor girl, her mother has totally failed her. Any idea how it turned out? I really hope that BF is in jail and the daughter is in a safer place. I helped a man regain visitation of his child after a year or so in jail. I thought I was a great humanitarian. Oh, the hubris that comes from being a baby attorney. As we were shooting the shit after court waiting for his ride, he showed me his prison tattoo. giant letters on his torso that spelled war, white Aryan resistance. I'm a blue-eyed blonde, so I guess he thought I was down with the cause. I went home and threw up. Fortunately, that child has two parents. Hopefully mom isn't a racist boss. My mom is a lawyer who worked a case against one of those if you or a loved one were affected by a drug suits. The drug was, in some cases, causing heart issues. Important to note, stress can cause heart issues as well. The suit was filed by a slimy law firm who were telling people that they could win money, even if people were not actually experiencing the side effects. One of these clients had a brain tumor, recently had a nasty divorce, and her son had just died, among all sorts of other terrible luck. Her heart issues did not match the side effects of the drug, and instead looked stress-related. So my mom had to cross-examine this woman, asking, could your inoperable brain tumor be causing you stress? Could your divorce from your abusive husband be causing you stress? Could the death of your young son be causing you stress? That woman's case was dismissed, but my mom felt terrible. The one I particularly hated happened at my first law job. This woman was a long-term client of my boss. In the past 10 years or so, she has been caught driving under the influence 8 times, violated home incarceration countless times, been caught with controlled substances a few times, and stabbed 2 people on home incarceration. My boss at the time was the master of getting people off for DUIs, so she had only been convicted of a DUI third and always managed to stay on home incarceration with whatever releases she desired. I always regretted her cases because that woman is truly a danger to the public. She's undoubtedly going to kill someone someday, but I'll be damned if she isn't the luckiest woman alive and getting away with DUIs. My client made a lot of promises to his staff and never had planned to keep them. Was sued. Won. I hated every second of the case. Family law custody battle. They are never good and are almost always about money and vengeance. Wow, I felt that one. I found the emails about my mom and dad's divorce, and my mom was super petty and got custody despite my dad being the infinitely better parent. Now half my mom's income comes from child support that she bought a Lexus with. She does the bare minimum for me most of the time. She also gets super offended if anyone says buying a Lexus on $36K a year was a bad idea, when we don't even shop at Walmart because it's too expensive. Guy was a convicted felon, so couldn't be in possession of any firearms. He pawned 2 guns that were traced back to him by the pawn shop paperwork. He said they were his and put his thumbprint on the papers. Also had store clerks say he walked in carrying them. His story was that his girlfriend's mom found them after her father died. They were his, and wanted to get rid of them. So girlfriend, also convicted felon, asked him to help sell them, which he did. DA office refused to waive the 3-year min-man prison sentence, so it went to trial. I was the prosecutor when it went and ultimately got a guilty. The guy had to do 3 years day for day. I felt bad because I think his story was true, but he had a conviction for armed robbery and sexual battery from 30 years ago, so that was why the office wouldn't agree to reduce the sentence. 30 years ago! Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. Sheesh, glad I haven't gotten in trouble. I represented this construction worker in a divorce. The wife stayed at home with the kids and had no money. Through entire divorce, her attorney claimed that my client was hiding money. They had no evidence and the client vehemently denied it. We had a good settlement in the case and I considered it done. When the client came in a few weeks later to pick his file, he thanked me for my work and said, "And she never did find the money I hid." He had a big laugh and walked away. What a dick. There is a good chance he was making a joke of the non-existent cash. Of course I don't know the specifics. I have handled my fair share of domestic abuse cases, about 90% of which end with dismissals. I never like winning them, but almost always do. My ex-husband was my abuser but somehow manipulated the police into putting me in jail. I told my lawyer I was innocent, but he told me it was still a better idea just to take the plea deal. I'm still really mad about that. Also, when I took the court-ordered DV classes, I found it was pretty damn common that the wrong person was arrested and they just didn't feel like going to trial because they felt bad, or helpless or afraid. The other thing I found pretty common that also happened to me was once the women did work up the courage to call police, their husbands' charges were almost always dropped, leaving them to deal with an even angrier husband. I've lost a lot of faith in the justice system. Sad stories all around. Why do you think that is?
Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your